still on.
I know, I just turned it on because I'm about to get profound. I think. It doesn't always work out that way, by the way. Just want to hit delete. Most consumers, I mean, your Subaru buyer is probably going to be a little smarter, a little better educated than some other manufacturer customers. Would you agree with that? Okay. So they may be more tuned into what's going on. I mean, you'd have to be living in a cave not to know that interest rates are higher than they've ever been, well, during the last 15 years anyway. You'd have to be living in a cave not to know that inflation has affected every part and literally every product.
Grocery store.
Whether from grocery stores to cars. Okay, my airline tickets now are higher, much higher than they were the last couple years. Hotel prices are higher, and I eat out, 250 times a year. I mean, I can't get away with paying less than $50 at the Red Lobster if I have one glass of wine. I mean, that's how incredible it is. I go to a decent steakhouse, it's going to be, just under $100, and that's if I have one glass of wine. And I emphasize one glass of wine because that's all my expense account will pay. I don't like it, but it's the way it is. So I know how high prices are. Most consumers do too, but they may not translate that into higher automobile prices. I mean, let's face it, used car prices are the highest they've ever been. Well, I take that back. 3 or 4 months ago, they were higher than they are now. They dropped down a bit, now they're creeping back up. But they used to, 4 months ago, the average price of a used car was $30,000. Now it's about $28,000. The average price of a new car, like I said, is $48,000. And again, you couple that with the highest rates in 15 years, there's going to be payment shock. Now, my question is, would it be a good idea to educate the customer about what's going on in our business and educate them early? Okay? I mean, they show up, you meet and greet. I mean, they're here to see an Ascent, they're here to see a whatever, and you say, look, welcome, glad you're here. Let me tell you what's going on in the business. Number one, our new car inventory is better than it's been for the last 2 years. Okay, you're going to have a bigger choice. Number two, we're no longer charging over. We're not charging over sticker anymore. So we're no longer charging. Give them some good news. Give them hope. Okay, we're no longer charging over sticker. All right. Now the flip side of that is interest rates are at 15-year highs, and automobiles are still more expensive than they've ever been. Okay, just want to give you a heads up. But there's also more value. The vehicles are more technologically advanced than they've ever been. Our fuel economy is better than it's ever been. Maintenance costs are down, lower than they've ever been. So you can tell a good story about the state of the business. But is it a good idea to talk to them about the state of the business? I think so too. And you may have, and if the customer says, there's a danger here, I say, and rates are higher than they've been in the last 15 years. What question might that provoke?
What's the rates I'm going to get then?
Stephanie, that's a great question. Let me explain how it works here. This is the number of people that have to use one of our finance sources. Literally nobody does, okay? Yet 70% of the people that buy cars from us voluntarily choose to use one of our finance sources. What's that tell you about our ability to get a pretty doggone good rate?
Pretty good.
Well, by the way, isn't it the truth?
No.
Does anybody have to use one of our finance sources? Absolutely not. The only person that would be someone who's got just god-awful credit and can't get financed anywhere else on the planet, and chances are we probably couldn't get them financed here anyway. Okay? So, you let them answer. Anytime you can get a customer to answer their own question, okay, it's always going to be the truth because the customer is coming up with their own answer. So if the customer goes, yeah, nobody needs to use your finance sources, yet 70% do, shoot. You must be doing something right around here, okay? Now, and I say that payments are higher than they've ever been. As a matter of fact, the average payment is $700, and this is average now, $787 a month. Now, what question might that provoke? What's my payment going to be?
Yeah.
Ask it.
What's my payment going to be?
Don't know. Blake, there's a number of different variables that go into it. And I'm not playing dumb, don't get me wrong. We're going to give you all the information you need to make a great decision today, make no mistake about that. However, job one is to help you pick out the right vehicle, because here's what I know for sure. Whether it's $300 a month or $1,300 a month, if it's the wrong vehicle, it's the wrong payment, okay? So the variables that go into creating a payment would be price of the vehicle, trade equity or negative equity, cash down, lender, credit score, loan to value, a number of different things. Our finance department is really good at putting all that together. Here's what I do know. Nobody ever leaves here with a payment they don't like. Because if they don't like the payment, well, they do leave here. They just don't leave here in a new Subaru or a used Subaru. Okay, so we'll get to that. But job one, again, is to make sure that the payment you have is on the right vehicle. Cool? I mean, do these things make sense? Again, where do I get these ideas?
Other salespeople make more money than we do.
I didn't say make more money than you guys do, but they make good money. I don't pick the brains of bad salespeople. All right. So that's the kind of conversation we have. And if the customer push me on a payment, say, Steve, I'm not going to make a decision until I know exactly what my rate and exactly what my payment's going to be. Say it.
Steve, I really need to know my rate and payment before I'm ready to move forward.
Blake, don't blame you. Okay, let me ask you this question. Are we on the right vehicle?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay. The next step is really easy then. I'm going to put you with the people that can tell you exactly what your rate is and exactly what your payment's going to be. Fair enough?
Fair.
Look, you guys have 3 finance managers who are willing to box close. You know what box close is?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you, I work with 84 different stores, and I don't have that many where the finance managers are willing to box close. There are some, certainly, but most want the deal completely buttoned up before they talk to the customer. You've got 3 exceptional finance managers. You know, Tim, I hadn't seen him since 2006. I said, did I look different? He goes, you were a lot younger. He goes, I think you were thinner too. I said, yeah, I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Susan is a terrific finance manager. JB was a good finance manager, but now I understand his game has picked up, so he's better. And correct me if I'm wrong, you guys get paid on finance and insurance, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So it behooves us, again, on that rare occasion, or maybe it's not so rare. On that occasion, when the customer will not move forward until they get additional financing information. I mean, your finance managers, I haven't talked to JB, but according to Susan and Tim, because I met both of them this morning, they said they are more than willing to either come out to your desk or have you bring them into their office and let them handle it from there.
Yep.
Okay? But here's what I don't want you to do. I don't want you to go back to Lance, or I don't want you to go back to Rich and say, I got to have a payment. Okay? I mean, that's what we want to avoid. Okay? Because then you put Rich and you put Lance in a trick box, because they want to move the vehicle. Okay? And they also know that what's going on with you is important to them. So you don't want to put them in that trick box. When you've got to have a payment or you've got to have an interest rate, first of all, I want you using the word tracks I just used, and I'm going to test you on them in just a second, and I'll coach you through it too. Go straight to the finance manager. Now, it probably wouldn't hurt to say, hey, Lance, they ain't moving another inch until I give them a payment, so I'm going to go talk to Tim, or I'm going to go talk to JB. And I've got a feeling Lance or Rich won't have a problem with that. Now, does Craig work deals as well? And I'm sure Craig wouldn't either. Okay? was all that profound? Was that worth videoing?
Hmm?